was bad, but you saw a particular character that looks like you. You saw somebody who is progressive in something you can actually do, but you are not doing it, or you are not getting such recognition like that person. It hurts. Communication is so important because many times you sit with people and after they have left, you wish you had said certain things that you did not say. Many of us know what to say. How to say it is the problem. It's the problem. So when you leave, you become very angry with yourself. I should have said it like this. Yeah. Many of us also, you meet with people, and when you leave, you are angry at yourself, not because of what you did not say, but what you said. And you begin to regret, I shouldn't say this. Many of us, based on the kind of emotional miscontrol we have, I like to speak my mind. I used to be like that many years ago. If you talk to me, I'll tell you, I like to speak my mind. Go and ask people that know me. I always say my mind. But let me tell you, communication skills says, don't say your mind to the point that you now lose the mind you're saying. Because it's one thing to say your mind, it's another thing to lose your mind in the process. Sometimes silence is the biggest form of communication. Sometimes you say much when you say nothing at all. I think I heard it in one song. There's a smile on your face, makes me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes, saying you'll never leave me. There's a touch that I say you catch me, wherever I fall. Who knows that song? You say much when you say nothing at all. Some of you just want to talk. Your inability to talk. In fact, communication is listening. Communication is not the ability to talk always. Communication is the ability to know when to say, how to say, and what to say, and when to shut up, when to listen. That's the essence and the path of communication. Okay? So, in that regard, understanding it, you will now see that communication is more psychological than just academic. Everybody says psychological.
Psychological.
What is psychological? The meaning of psychology, that word psychology, means psycho. And logy. And what is psycho? Is a Greek word which means what? Psycho. Psycho is mind.
Mind.
Psycho is what? Mind. That means that when you have a psych, when you know Nigerians, we can turn everything. They say psycho. This one is psycho. What does that mean? You've lost your mind. Okay. Psycho. Psycholomental. You said what?
You sort of get psycho.
You don't get psycho. You've lost your mind. So psychology simply means study. To study something. So psychology is the study of the mind, how human beings think, how we process information, when things are said to you, how human beings interact together. The science and the study of how people interact together, is that psychology? No. That one is not psychology, that one is socials. Socials is human interaction. The father of sociology is Auguste Comte. He's the one that actually defined and described the psychology of sociology. That is how human beings interact. How do we, when you say this, how do people respond to it? Social stratification and all of those things. Auguste Comte is the father of sociology. But not the father of psychology. Psychology is about the mind. Let me tell you, if you can capture somebody's mind, you have captured the person's life. If you can be able to take control of someone's mind, have you not heard that anyone who is able to make you too happy, make you too angry, make you cry, that person has the remote control to your life? Have you heard it before?
Yes.
Sorry, John,
Go ahead.
you were saying something so good, but I was using it for my.
It's okay. So
What do you say that is psychological?
psychology is psycho and logic. Psycho means the mind. Logic means study. So psychology is the study of the mind. When you study how the mind works, how human beings think. That is psychology. Under psychology, a lot of things come up. Like you have things like a lot of things which I don't want to delve into. Even theory of influence, how to influence people, is under psychology. Am I making sense? It's an extension of psychology. How to control people. How many of you have heard about covert hypnosis? Covert hypnosis? That's hypnosis. Where somebody, a doctor will hypnotize you. Follow the pendulum. That's how they used to do it before. Follow the pendulum, and you're looking at the pendulum, and then that's one thing that looks like a watch, round watch. As you are following, your eyes is following. He's saying certain things to you. Those things are entering your brain, entering your mind. Based on that movement of the eyes in a calculated time, that pendulum, as it's moving, those words he's saying to you, he will now say, now sleep off. You will sleep off. He will now start telling your mind. You say, right now, go back 10 years of your life. That's the kind of therapy they used to do on those days. Go back 10 years of your life. What happened? Your eyes are closed. You are now going back to live the reality you've lived before. He gives you access to a part of your mind that you didn't have. Psychology, very strong. How do you think, like I would always ask, how do you think that someone like Adolf Hitler will convince people to go and kill themselves? How do you think that someone like Mahatma Gandhi in India would stand up and raise a salt revolution in India that brought about the change in India that we're still seeing today? How do you think that Nelson Mandela would stand up and talk to blacks and say, let us fight against apartheid policy, and they listen to him? How do you think that Maxwell, what's the name of the, Malcolm X, will stand up and say that I have a dream that one day my son and a white lady will walk on the road of Mississippi hand to hand, and they believed him? How do you think he was able to control and influence what they thought in their head? How? It is the advantage of effective communication. Understanding what to say, when to say, and how what you are saying is being reacted to. That is the power of communication. If you have this power, I tell you, there is nothing you cannot do. How is it able? Are you aware that it's not about how good you are as an actor? It's about how well you are able to sell yourself. Do you know that a lot of people that are very good in what they do are not the people you are even patronizing? Some people are not so good in what they do, but they know how to market themselves.
It's true.
So when you watch them, they begin to get angry that, look at this person. I'm even better than him. Did you sell yourself like him? Did you communicate what you can do like him? Did you sit back to learn communication, the psychology of communication like him? That's why Lady Holly was saying something a few minutes ago. She said, in answering one of your questions, she said, you have an advantage. She said, a lot of actors don't know, and sincerely, today's lecture was extraordinary. Lady Holly's lecture today was extraordinary. She said something that struck me, because she said a lot of actors don't even know half of what she has taught you within this last 1 hour plus. A lot of actors don't have an idea. And they go on screen, and they are left to compete with you in the same playing ground. There's no way they can overcome you. But the worst is those people that come here and you didn't really open your head. We need to pray for you. Or you are joining us online and you can't even, you didn't pick any of these advantages. Not a big problem. We need to go and beg who you offended in your village. Maybe from your father's side or your mother's side. So the psychology of communication. What is psychology of communication? Every act of communication involves 3 psychological stages. But before then, psychology of communication, what would then that mean? Is psychology. Psychology is the study of the human mind. Now, what do you think psychology of communication would be? Yes.
How humans communicate
how human beings communicate, okay?
It means how.
You know, when you were sitting down, you remember that stood up, the thing just disappeared. What you want? Okay, sit down, sit down.
God have mercy.
What you wanted to say did not stand up with you. You understand? Well, go ahead, try. That's why we are learning communication. That's why you are learning communication. Yes, somebody was, yes. Just
So, psychology of communication is basically the study of how we are able to communicate effectively between each other.
Okay, okay, yes.
Okay. If psycho is the mind, and then
Logic study.
the study of the mind, then psychology of communication is how you can use, you can communicate your mindset, your plans, your intellect, what you want to present to the people. So
Okay, makes sense, makes sense. No, we've talked before. Yes.
I feel like it's how you could effectively study an individual's mind and read.
And read their minds. Yes, yes.
It's the study of how the mind takes in information, processes it, and channels it out.
How the mind takes in information, processes it, and channels it out. Divine has the answer, has part of the answer, but she needs to listen to her father's lecture. Well. Psychology of self-confidence. The mind, our provost. In her mind, she was, no, sit down and talk. Don't worry. Go ahead. No, communication.
To be able to speak and interact with anybody.
I understand. That is why we are learning communication. Okay? Now, all of you, okay, Victor. Okay, now listen. Do you remember that I told you that communication is about painting the picture in your head, in your mind, and transferring it from your mind to what? Another person's, so that the person can see. Let me tell you, a lot of us, thank God in this school, we are learning phonetics, right?
Yes.
Next week, Thursday now, we'll have a board where we are learning. It is not water. It is water.
Water.
It is not sharp.
It is sharp.
It is not pepper. It is paper.
Paper.
Right?
not the emotion.
It is not blood. It is blood.
Blood.
We are learning all of those things. But let me tell you, let all the phonology in the world be so grammatically competent that you know how to speak all the English with all the accent. See, there's a difference between speaking good English, grammatical competence, and communication. You will see someone who cannot produce, who is still saying was, knocking the thing together. He is communicating better than you. Grammatical competence is a part of communication, that's speaking good English, but it is not everything. It's only a small percentage. Am I making sense? Yes. Phonological competence, speaking as in producing your words accurately, is part of communication, but it's only a small part of it. Communication is bigger than grammar and phonetics. Communication is more of the mind. Can you speak to the people's mind? To get me to do what you want me to do not depend on your grammar, depend on your ability to get into my head. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes. The moment you get in here, there's nothing you cannot take from here. The moment you can get into my head, there's nothing you cannot take from my hand. Get into my head first. Those people who have excelled in this industry are the people who understand the dynamics of getting into the heads of people. Why do you think very dark man is excelling and is having people who are way older than him following him and worshiping him like God? Why? He got into their head. You cannot insult him There's one of my friends that I'm planning to first call to say, I will soon insult you for social media. Only that I'm on break now. By the time I resume, he might be the first person I will fire. Why? This young guy, very dark man of 24 years or 20-something years, has entered into our head to the point that we see what he sees. We believe him so much. Yes, I'm not a rattle, but I'm a very dark man fan. Because I believe a lot of the things that he's saying. Am I making sense? You can also do the same and more. Imagine if you do a movie and have very dark man as one of the actors.
That movie will sell.
That movie will do what?
Sell like mad.
But you see, you need to have the ability to communicate yourself and communicate yourself effectively. So every act of communication involves 3 psychological stages. That is, when we are talking about communication, the psychology of what? Communication. Number 1 is encoding. Encoding. This is when you turn your words. This is when you turn your thoughts. This is when you turn your thoughts, your emotions, and your intention. Where do thoughts exist? Stop writing, look up. Where does thoughts exist?
Mind.
Talk to me. Where does the thought exist?
Mind.
Where does the emotion exist?
Mind.
Some of you will say heart, but heart does not have the ability to think.
Think, yeah.
Eh? The heart does not have the ability to do what?
Think.
Where do you think? So, where do thoughts exist? In the mind. Where is the emotion generated? In the mind. Your intention. Where is the intention? Let's look at that one by one. What are your thoughts? The things in your head right now. As I'm speaking, there are a lot of things in your head. In fact, some of you are here. Your eyes are on me, but your head is somewhere else. As if you are looking at me, koro.
Yes, the mind.
But the things in your head are unimaginable. Some of you, a lady once told me in the church, that was many years ago when I was preaching in South Africa. I finished preaching in that church and I came and she said, wow, I was really touched. And I'm like, God is faithful. And she looked at me. She said, and I noticed her because she sat somewhat in the front and from the beginning of the message to the end of the message, I don't think she blinked up to 5 times because her focus was something else. She was concentrating. And I was like, yes, I've had someone that who understood what I mean. So I said, oh, were you blessed? So what part of the teaching really got you? She said, part of the teaching, I began to see that something was wrong. I said, what part of the teaching did you really enjoy? She said, I can't quite remember what you taught. So all those focus and concentration. She said, all I was, okay, she now said, you know, South Africans are funny. Yeah, she said, look, Dr. Henry, let me just tell you the truth. While you were teaching, I was carried away by your lips. So, in my head, I have imagined a whole lot. So while I was there preaching, sin is a reproach. Repent or you die. She was sitting down and focusing, and I was saying, I want a soul for Jesus today. I didn't know that her imagination. In fact, she said, do you want me to tell you the things I have imagined in my head? I said, no, don't do it. Thoughts. That's why the Bible actually says it in different scriptures. It says, guard your mind with all diligence. Do you know what that means? It means you should guard your mind. The way you put a bulletproof car, put your mind inside, put burglary proof around your mind, because out of it flows the issues. All the issues we are going through is from our thoughts. All the what? Issues. Why do you read and don't understand? Issues. Why is it that anytime you open your book, your mind travels? Issues. So it says guide it, protect it. Don't let it just fly. If you allow your mind fly, your mind will become your greatest enemy. Do you know that the mind, let me tell you the weakness of the mind. Everybody now listen. Look at me. The greatest weakness of the mind psychologically is the mind does not know what is true and what is false. Did you hear that? Listen to me. Listen, don't write yet. The mind cannot tell the difference between what is true and what is false. The mind is a very powerful tool. That's why we cannot start teaching you communication without you understanding how the mind works. Do you know that this is television, right? Sorry, I don't want to call this slow. The mind, your own mind, it's okay. Your own mind can convince you that this is table tennis.
True.
And if you tell your mind consistently that it is table tennis, you will believe it that it is table tennis. And when you are even saying it that it is table tennis, if somebody looks at you and even judges you based on body language for lie detection, the person will not be able to tell the difference because you believe the lie that they are saying. The mind cannot differentiate, just leave that in alone, leave it. The mind cannot differentiate between what is true and what is false. Go and do your research in Google. That is the greatest. In fact, I don't know, when God gave us free will in the mind, it was a weapon, double-edged sword. It can make you, it can destroy you. This mind can lie to you that A is B and B is A. And if you meditate on it consistently, you will believe it that it will begin to affect even your health. Why did Jacob discuss with his father-in-law Laban? All the goats were pure white as at that time. He said, Laban, any goat that has line on the body, I will take. Anyone that is pure white, you will take. Laban looked at all the goats and said, all the goats are pure white. This is a very foolish person. Where on earth is he going to get children of goats? Pure white plus pure white. Is he not going to turn to pure white? Where is he not going to have line? Laban agreed. What did Jacob do? Jacob understood the power of the mind. That you can become anything if your mind says that you will. Mindset. It's mindset. Jacob carried paper, drew line, and placed it where the goats and the cows and the sheep were drinking. As they were drinking water, their eyes were looking at line. When they had children, that had line, because they kept on looking at line. That is how powerful the mind can be. In that psychology, it is clear that a human being can control another human being just by telepathic concentration. That means a human being can sit down. Do you know the power you have? You can actually sit and meditate on IK and begin to have projection. You don't need any spiritual power. The mind is the greatest spiritual power on earth. Forget it. I'm telling you. You see this mind? It's so powerful. You concentrate on IK, call IK. You imagine IK in your head and you begin to imagine certain things happen to IK. That is how these demonic things work. Yes. It is true that the demons now back it up. Am I making sense? That's why every blessed morning I bless my children. Night, I bless my children. Every day, I bless myself. Do you know why? I don't know who is somewhere programming and projecting in their mind against them. And if they don't also reprogram what was programmed, that thing that was programmed will work. That's why when they are meditating on you, you meditate on yourself. Because you do not know who is just somewhere. The person does not need to go to Babalawo. As long as the person can meditate, I did Jit Kundu. He is a martial art master, the best in Lagos State. Now they are calling him now, like today now, to represent the whole of Lagos State in Olympics competition. Let's put our hands together for Why did I stop training as a Jit Kundu person? It's because I got to the point of meditation. And I started it became too scary. Because meditation, and we began to levitate. I saw myself off the ground. Of course, astral travel. I saw myself off the, there was no juju. Hello. There was no and you now begin to elevate. You know, it's just deep meditation. With deep meditation, you can do anything. You can Ogochukwu will be sitting out there. With deep meditation, one guy came out, a psychologist, he said all those things you pastors are doing, you're just wasting your time. What are you saying? The guy is not a politics, he said he's a white man, you know the juju. He just talked to the lady, do back, the lady fell. Eh? Do you think most of the pastors are carrying Holy Spirit? They have learned the power of psychological communication. Pam, tell you one or two, you are down there reacting and scratching the whole table. Hello. Why do you think it's the same set of people? Ministry of Fallen Affairs. One set of people, then they always fall for church. Anytime guest minister come, you tell that is a choir member, let's tell ourselves the truth. You would have told yourself, deliverance does that. Who goes for first? Chikodi will be telling you can go first me for, and need they always fall. Constantly. And need they always that one. Chikodi that imagine now my style Ngozi use.
Now the way I think they fall.
Now the way we take the form, Ngozi know they steal my style. Now you have one use today. You want them say one use my style for tell me. You for tell me now, I go to fall like me. Everybody knows say now my way of falling is that. But I get one style where I go show pastor today, no worry. They watch me. Two people gisting, I get one style. Pastor never see this one before.
Never see it.
How far I go for today? Go enter pastor head.
Usher is going to feel you.
Usher no go today. That idiot. That Usher wey they call what's that his name? That Usher. I'm show him today, I will show that Usher today. It is a sabi who.
Some of us like go fall.
I will show him today. I will fall and then you will see. I'm telling you, funny things because they know that it is not true. That does not mean that there is no original. Am I making sense? What I'm saying is that wherever you see fake, there is an original. Photocopy is an extract of the abstract of originality. Communication is exceptionally important. So, encoding, everybody say encoding. Say encoding. This is when your thoughts, the thoughts in your head, your emotion, what you are feeling, your intention, what is in your mind, you are planning to do. This is when you turn this into words. Everybody say words. Words. Turn your thoughts, your emotions, your intention into words. Some of you are thinking it in your head, you know it, just like Divine. She knows the answer, but the problem was how do I turn these thoughts in my head into words? That was the problem of Wanya Bakileke. She knows the answer. She actually took up her hand. She stood up. But it's not devil. It's not devil. It's not, you see, sometimes you blame devil for what we can control. Am I making sense? We blame the devil. We give the devil too much authority, too much power. It's not the devil, man. It is psychology. Okay, she has the intention, she even has the emotion, but then at the end of the day, turning it into words was the problem. Because of your learning. So what are you doing in class today? To learn how to turn this your thoughts, your emotion, your intention into words. We are laughing at it now, but let me be honest with you, it hurts. You may not understand. I'm not feeling it. I can't see it in your face. They are telling you to cry. Lady Wally said it in her lecture. Some of us have never cried before. We are not used to crying.
As in, all the time you have about, I'm just pretending. So,
I actually forgot that we're having an Igbo class. What? Am I? Oh no, it's an assumption. What if I'm not? It's okay. So how do you turn your thoughts into words? How do you turn your emotions into words? How do you turn your intention into words? How do you turn your thoughts into your facial expression? And if you can do this, nobody will stop you as an actor. What you are thinking, you've read the script, and you've seen the thought pattern within the script. How do you turn it into facial expression? If you can get this. How do you turn your emotion into facial expression? That is what you are feeling. Happy, sad, angry, gloomy, moody. How do you turn it into facial expression? Because today, acting is about expression. Not extreme gesticulation, but facial expression. We direct more with body language now and limited gesticulation. How do you turn it into voice? That even people are watching you, they can't see you, but they are hearing like a radio drama that you just acted. Hearing your words, they can still see the thoughts, the emotion, and the intention. Your movement from one point to the other. How do you communicate with it? That is encoding. Trying to find a way to turn those thoughts and emotion into words, into facial expression, into voice, into movement. That is what we call encoding. Everybody say encoding.
Encoding.
After encoding, number 2 is transmission. Number 2 is transmission. Transmission. Transmission, that is the acting itself. This is the moment you perform.
Movement, I mean.
Moment.
The moment you perform. Okay, the last one we were looking at is movement. No, that is under the first part. I will explain everything together again, don't worry. Transmission. That is the acting. The moment you do what? You perform. That is when you now begin to speak eventually. Reacting, expressing, moving. Transmission is when you now begin to speak. You deliver the lines. Reacting, body language. Expression, your gesticulation. Moving, your movement from point A to point B. These things are transmission. Number 3 is decoding. Decoding, that is in the receiver. The audience or co-actor interprets what you have sent. If they understand you, if they misunderstand you, communication has failed. Write that down. Let me explain 1, 2, 3 straight together. Let me explain 1, 2, and 3 together. Now, the psychology of communication has 3 processes. The first one is what? Encoding. The first one is what?
Encoding.
The second one is what? Transmission. The third one is what? Decoding. Are you done writing? Let me give you a simple definition to make all of you, description to make all of us understand. Encoding. Stop writing, look at me for 1 second. That number 1, encoding, happens inside you. When you are transferring your thoughts and making it like words, like ideas, like facial expressions and all of those things, do people see it?
Yeah.
Do they see it?
No.
No.
So sometimes you just pull away, you carry your script, and you are reading the script, and you are reading each of the lines. I love you from the depths of my heart. And you meditate on it. What are you trying to do? Those words paint painting it in your head, creating a facial expression for it, all of those things, where are you doing it?
Your mind.
Your mind.
Does it happen between you and another person?
No.
It happens between you and you.
Alone.
When you now close your eyes, I love you from the depth of my heart, and you are imagining how you're going to, your face will be, how your voice will be, how how you would say it, how you would deliver the words. All of these things, where does it happen? Outside or inside?
Inside.
So what do we call it in psychology?
Encoding.
What do we call it?
Encoding.
Listen, every line you give as an actor is an experience. So the first step is to look at the lines and encode it psychologically in your mind. This line I'm about to say, this thing I'm about to say, how do I say it? What face will I use to say it? I can tell you, you're very stupid. And I say with a very angry face. And I can tell you, you're very stupid. And I can tell you, you're very stupid. And then, do they have the same interpretation?
No.
That means that during encoding is where I give definition to what I want to say. Remember that communication, how they understand it, right?
Yes.
So if I say you're very stupid in my head I will now say, okay, facial expression, I want to be very harsh. You're very stupid because I love you. So I will just say in my head, when I now begin to say, okay, you're very stupid, but I love you. Then in my head, I now say, okay, you're very stupid. I'll say it with very harsh face. Then I'll pause. After pausing, I'll now say, I love you with a soft, sorrowful face. Tell me, when I do that, what have I just done?
Yeah,
Eh? What's that process? It is what? Encode. I now move to number 2, which is transmission. And what is that one called? The acting. So after I have built it in my head, the next thing is now to act it. So in my head, I've already imagined I'm going to be angry with you are very stupid, and then I love you. I'm going to do it softly. So what you're now going to, when I now get to that point where I say, when I now say you're very stupid, where did it start from?
On the mind and action.
It started from encoding.
Yes.
I had already programmed how I would say it in my head before it came out. Now, would it not make sense?
It makes sense.
In communication, everything is deliberate. Everything is what? Deliberate. Do your very, very stupid angrily, and then I give myself, we call it beats. I will teach you all of those things. I give myself, while I was giving myself beats. I said in my head, I'm going to do 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I love you. Why do I give beats? I will still teach you why you use beats and when to use beats in delivering your lines. I gave you beats so that, because when I say you are very stupid, as emotionally tense as I was, the audience were also emotionally.
They are watching for what you do next.
So when I give beat for number 1, suspense. What is he going to do next? Is he going to slap? Is he going to shout? Is he going to keep quiet? I give that breath, and then breathe in and relax. Oh, he has relaxed. That means I am drawing the audience into a web of following me based on my multiple reactions, not gesticulation. Did that make sense? Yeah. So that 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4 is suspense. Because I could 4, I give a punch. I did? Yes. I could do that. But then 4, next thing they see, and then you look at him. The moment I breathe down, everybody watching me already knows that this person has calmed down. Even the way you breathe is communication in acting. The way you breathe is communication in acting. The way you talk, your movement, these are all communications in acting. So transmission is, now you are now speaking. Now you are now reacting. Now you are now expressing. Now you are moving from one point, all those movements. These are transmission, the actual acting. But before transmission, what is the first step?
Encoding.
That means that by the time I give you lines at the end of today's lecture, by the time I give you lines for the practical aspect of this lecture, if I give you a line, what is the first thing you do to that line?